sharing today. So in this opening moment, I'd like to begin with our land acknowledgement. As written by myself and Kim Folks. I am Ramona Laughing-Brook Webb. I'm Afro-Creek Muskogee. And as individuals seeking social justice, we recognize the importance of committing to the everyday work of deepening our understanding of the history and the actions that have led each of us to exist on this land, North America. So we begin this powerful work with a land acknowledgement. We intentionally recognize and respect Indigenous peoples as the traditional stewards of this land, and honor the enduring relationship that exists between Indigenous people and traditional Indigenous territories. We acknowledge the Ohlone people and all traditional and unceded territories we are gathered upon of Indigenous peoples. We acknowledge the overlapping histories of this region, including the continuing conditions of stolen Indigenous land and power, in addition to the ongoing violence produced by the legacy of racialized slavery and oppression. We also recognize that the institutions and industrial complexes with which we struggle within have been complicit in the erasure of history and continue to benefit from and perpetuate processes of colonization, broken treaties, racism, colorism, bi, homo, transphobia, misogyny, dispossession, and displacement. Let us take a moment to extend our deepest thanks, gratitude, and appreciation to our shared ancestors, present elders, and emerging elders. Let us reflect in silence and be mindful of conducting our work using words, actions, and intentions that demonstrate the honor and appreciation we extend to the Ohlone people and all Indigenous peoples whose lands we sit and stand upon. And with this, let us take a deep collective breath together in honor of these traditional stewards of our lands. 1, 2, 3, deep breath in. Thank you for holding space for that. Holding space for our traditional Indigenous stewards of the lands we sit and stand upon. And in keeping with the breath, let's start with a brief meditation. This will be a 10-breath meditation, so not too long, but not too short. Now is a good time for us to go on ahead, get grounded in our space. Find ourselves comfortable in our seats, however we sit, stand, or lay. Letting go of what is surrounding us, what is circling in our minds, moving ourselves from a place of the soft gaze into a place of respite and deep awareness within. Feeling the release in your ankles, feeling your feet, letting go, feeling the release in the calves, feeling your seat held, feeling your back supported, feeling your neck outstretched, your head floating above, releasing the tension in the shoulders, releasing the tension in the upper body, feeling the release in the temple as we let go and surrender to this moment. And let us take a deep collective communal breath on this together, just to drop in. 1, 2, 3, deep breath in, and hold, and exhaling at your leisure. Continuing to breathe in your own rhythm, in your own pace, and in your own time. And as we count down into our breath, let us be grounded in gratitude, feeling our connection to our core, connected to deep earth, moving with soft gaze and holding the affirmation of our collective goodness in this breath. Let us take a deep collective breath together. 1, 2, 3, deep breath in, hold, exhaling at your leisure. Continuing to breathe in your own rhythm, in your own pace, and in your own time. And as we usher in this collective breath, knowing that we are moving forward in resilience, as we are holding the light of our good intentions, knowing that we are here standing in our purpose, trusting and deserving, knowing that this respite is absolutely necessary. Let us take a deep collective breath in. 1, 2, 3, deep breath in and hold, and exhaling at your leisure. Let us use our love as inspiration, knowing our brilliance, knowing that this collective energy of our collective breath is taking our body's intuition into a place of surrender as we begin to affirm the highest feel of good. On this, let us take a deep breath in, 1, 2, 3, in, hold, and go. In, hold, and go. And in, hold, let go. Continuing to breathe in your own rhythm, in your own pace, in your own time. And as we breathe, let us remember these affirmations. We are our sanctuary. We are sacred. We are legacy. Deep breath in, hold, let go. Affirming our dignity, our resilience, and our power. Deep breath in, hold, knowing that our love, our healing, and our forgiveness is absolutely necessary. Deep breath in, hold, let go. As we vision our futures forward, knowing that we are present, we are deserving, we are worthy of all good things. Deep breath in, hold, and let go. As we stand in a space of surrender, of serenity, let us take a deep breath in and hold, let go. As we celebrate the sacred strength, courage, and bravery our existence exudes, let us take a deep breath in, hold, let go. Standing in the gratitude, the blooming of our brilliance, certainty of our genius. Deep breath in, hold, and let go. Having faith in our healing, our deep readiness, our greatness, knowing we are a miracle in motion. Deep breath in, hold, let go with sound. As we know, we are a gift of generosity, a divine plan in action, deserving of love. Let us take a deep breath in. Hold, and go with sound. Feeling the resonance in the base of our bellies. Feeling the goodness rising up through the breath. Knowing we are sweetness in creation, a revolution in motion, walking in goodness. Let's take a deep communal breath in. Hold. Let go. As we affirm our wellness, affirm our legacy, and ascend to our highest, who's loving and peaceful, positive good in our walk in this existence. Let us take a final communal breath, deep breath in, and hold, and let go. Continuing to breathe in our own rhythm, in our own pace, and in our own time. Just following the cleansing breath, we intuitively know. As we breathe, just remember to surrender. Let us clear the path to our highest good, living into our highest idea of ourselves. Greatness that is waiting for within, the surrender that is opening the way, visioning forward in authenticity, in absolute acceptance, absolute forgiveness, and in absolute love. Knowing we are worthy, we are ready, we are able, knowing that we are deserving, sitting in our own genius, in the serenity that is provided by the legacy we stand upon, knowing that the ancestors that set forth before us dreamed our bright futures, loved for our good will, and sit with our good intentions in line. May we be held in this protection, be aware of our bravery, see this courage rise to meet us, and know that we are exactly where we are supposed to be. And in this, let us take our last collective breath together. 1, 2, 3, deep breath in, hold, and exhaling with sound at your leisure. Continue to breathe in your own rhythm, own pace, own time. As we begin to return, bringing back the sacred space that we found within into our place of present awareness. Turning to a position of soft gaze, awareness of the beauty and the community and the love that surrounds us. We are about our purpose and our abilities and intentions, knowing that we are surrounded with love, care, and compassion. As we start to return into a place of present awareness, ensuring that we bring serenity into our present moment. Becoming aware of the beautiful community that surrounds us, that sits with us and watches with us, that listens and hears with us. Becoming aware of the ankles, aware of the toes, feeling the awareness in the thighs, and the hips being held, feeling the back, the spine elongated, the neck outstretched, and let's take our heads that are floating above and rotate one to the left, one rotation to the right. As we come back into the present moment of awareness, let us rotate our shoulders, giving a little circular motion here to our shoulders. A little bend in our fingers. Continuing with the breath. Bring ourselves back into a little stretch, into present awareness. Whatever feels good to the body, to move. This invitation. As we move back into a present state of awareness and the loving community that surrounds us and holds us and protects us in this moment. Thank you so much for taking a moment of meditation with me. I hope these affirmations and these breaths are of service to this writing process, this clarity, this grounding, this goodness, most essential, this goodness. So as we come back, we start with a poem, A Piece for 100 in honor of the greatness made Black women. Giving gratitude for your day, you are starbreak, an amber sky yielding a blue moon, a sassafras bloom in autumn, copper run deep and ready. The dearest of mothers, brands, braids of loves, parents of hells. A gracious gift of generosity, divine plan and action, a miracle in motion. Living through joy, heartache, and revolution, segregation, and the sweetness of creation. We are a miracle in action. We are brilliance. We are holding. We are ready. We are known. We are a certain sweetness, a clear, faithful breath, an awakening in progress, an ethereal blueprint in practice. We are miracle. We are legacy. We are gift. A blending of faith and principle, a lighthouse in the darkness that life brings. We are forgiveness. We are gifted. We are blessed. A legacy of pride and perseverance. Her hope, her hands, your sanctioned grown love. We are grateful. We are ready. We are forgiven. A blessing in bloom, a dream deferred. Courage in the face of adversity, and more precious than a metaphor can hold. We are worthy. We are ready. We are valuable. We are here. Shay, thank you so much for listening. Thank you so much for sharing. Hopefully everybody is back. Thank you so much for everyone who's able to join us. I see you here present in the States, and I see you here on our wonderful Zoom. Thank you so much for joining us. And there we go. Good job. Everybody's moving.
Okay.
As we sit in this, grateful to have you. So now is the time to start getting ourselves kind of reacclimated to the space and to being in the present. Get these good writing tools out. Get this motivation for the voice of life vision and honoring authentic voice. Part 2, as we consider how we're going to move forward. A lot of us made a lot of affirmations for our wellness and our way forward in part one, which was right after New Year's, which is always a great time to affirm, what we're going to do and what we plan to do and what we hope for. And what have we been doing? That is what we're here to address. And how can we further this vision that we've already begun? And maybe this is your first time beginning this journey with us, and you're exactly where you're supposed to be. And maybe this is your continuation of this journey with us, and you're exactly where you're supposed to be. And so we're going to visit with a few affirmations as we sit and think about what is most important, the life that we are trying to live, the surrender that we are living into, the beings that we want to excel into, living up to our highest, most positive and possible good, living up to our highest expectations, desires, and loves for ourselves, living into our greatness, being clear about our genius, not being afraid to account for and claim our good, and the transformation that is continuing to unfold as us. And so I want to start with the affirmation and the question, where does our light live? So where does the light in your life live? And when I say the light, I mean, where is that place that is aspiration, our inner wellness, like our sacred inner compass, the light that allows us to move through surface and moments and grief and holds us in forgiveness and is our place of surrender, our place of love and clarity, our place of caretaking and of compassion. Oftentimes we think of our light as something we have to perfect or call in. What does it mean to call what is already here? That which sustains us and grounds us and centers us. Our light is what heals us and keeps us in a plain touch with what is good, what is forging us forward, what is keeping us in a place of forgiveness, loving us unconditionally and teaching us to love ourselves as ourselves all the time. This inner light that holds our hearts, the light that we walk in as an act of faith and an act of meditation, this continual light that ensures that we are not erased, that we are an awakening, how we thrive, the light. This is the light that I'm speaking to, the innate light that exists within us, that keeps us moving forward, that continues to inspire us with bright ideas and brilliant moments and loving hands and careful touch, this successful light. So where does the light in your life live? And I'll give you a moment to think about that, and I'll put it in the chat as well.
Hi, can you clarify the question? Is it where does your light live?
And I just dropped it in the chat.
Oh, perfect. Thank you.
No worries. Where does the light in your life live? So this inner light, this guiding light, like the sacred compass that gives you the intuition, turn right, not left, go in this building, don't hug this person, hold this hand, be here, don't be here. The inner light, your guiding intuition, what sustains you, what holds you, what allows you to feel sacred, what allows you to feel comforted, what allows you to feel healed, what leads your intuition to make choice or decision. Yeah. Does that help?
Yes, thank you.
No worries. Okay, bring us into a close on that prompt. Bringing the writing into a place of landing, knowing that you can return to it. Okay. We'll say 30-second warning. 30-second warning. Okay. Now, we've started with this idea of our inner light, and that surrendering to that inner light. What does it look like um, to live into that inner light? So the next affirmation statement that we're going to take a moment with is, when I trust myself, I honor the medicine that is me. When I trust myself, I honor the medicine that is me. It's also in the chat. When I trust myself, I honor the medicine that is me. Again, oftentimes we look externally for the medicine, for the healing, for our way through, our way forward. What exists already within? What medicine do we bring into the world? How do we heal ourselves in the same way that we are healing the world around us by purely being? What is the medicine that is made of who we are, the gifts that we walk with, the goodness that we are, the genius that we are allowed to prevail, and the courage that it takes for us to just be? What is the medicine that is me? Is it a healing hand? Is it a loving touch? Is it compassion? Is it the ability to forgive? What is the medicine that is me? Is it the surrender? Is it sweetness? What kind of medicine are you walking with? Is it your ability to feel your hand, my voice? What is the medicine that is me? Is it your ability to forgive? What is the medicine that is me? Is it art? Is it mothering? Is it loving? Is it community? What is the medicine that is me? So when I trust myself, I honor the medicine that is me. And this is our promise. Writing here into places. And as we close this out, knowing that our medicine is a part of our inner light, when we have faith in our own intuition, knowing that we are walking in worthiness, knowing that our lives would not be the same and no one else's would either without our existence in it, knowing that we are teachers of life, and that we are also testimony in the making. And as we follow the impact of who we are the world changes around us. We are the rock in the pond and the ripple effect. As we consider what kind of medicine we honor in ourselves and what it means to trust ourselves and our own intuition. Which brings me to our next thought, which is what do I need to let go of to live into my highest potential? What do I need to let go of to live into my highest potential? What do I need to let go of to live into my highest potential? It's also in the chat. What do I need to let go of to live into my highest potential? So oftentimes we're thinking of what we need to gain, to do. What does it need to let go? It's only some place to let go so we can make space for something new. So what do we need to clear out? Kind of emotional spring cleaning needs to happen here in order for us to get to where we deserve to be, where we know we're worthy of, where we are comforted, where we are ready. Take a moment to think. right, bringing this prompt into a close. Writing this one down as we move into the next. What do we need to acquire to live into our highest good? What do we need to acquire to live into our highest good? Also dropping that into the chat. What do we need to acquire in order to live into our highest good? What do we need to have? You know what we need to let go of? What do we need to embrace? What do we need to surrender into? What do we need to love ourselves through? What do we need to acquire in order to live into our highest good? Living into our highest good. Believing that we are working right. Bringing this one into a close. Bringing it into a landing here. And consider where does my authentic voice come from? Where does my authentic voice come from? As we think of instances where we were brave or courageous, or instances where we didn't know what to do, as we think about the authenticity of who we are, part of our authentic voice may be being born in Mississippi. Part of our authentic voice may be as an artist. Part of our authentic voice may be a part of the work that we do in the world, the way we pray, what we hold sacred, the things we affirm, the values and the beliefs that we hold true in our hearts. wherever that authentic voice is, let's speak to that. I'm gonna drop that into the chat. Where does my authentic voice come from? Where is the tempo? Where does the sound come from? Your authentic voice. When you speak of your heart without judgment, absolute forgiveness, with compassion, about yourself or yourself as yourself. Where does our authentic voice come from? Let's live into that. Right. Our authentic voice. One in. Right. Finding our way around to bring our authentic voice into a place of flows, gentle flows. And in this final moment, let us breathe into, live into what it means for us to forge forward. What is our pathway forward? As we think about what we've let go, what we need to acquire, where our light is, what makes our medicine, how worthy and valuable and brilliant we are. What is our pathway forward? And that is our final brief prompt. What is our pathway forward? Not properly again in the chat. bringing that into a gentle close. Right. Now that we have a plan of action here, idea of what is important to us, where our value really lies. Let's take a minute to maybe share a little bit about the journey that we've taken in this writing. Share a little bit about what we've been able to discover through these moments, thinking with ourselves, loving with ourselves, visioning forward with ourselves, as ourselves, in full alignment. I can share first, and you can share any part of this, of all of it, any part of what you've written. My response to where does the light in your life live? It lives in my belly, and the faith that lives is me, and the get up and the gathering forward, and the grace that courage provides, and the intuition that I follow. It is in the fall down and get back up, and the fall down and get back up, and the fall down and stay up. It is the grace that I carry, the gratitude that I garner. I mean that it is my art, it is my Spitfire spirit, it is my family, it is my love, and the desire to try again. Would anyone else like to share any piece or all the pieces that you've written or shared with themselves? And you're welcome to raise your hand. Thank you, Marissa. You're next here.
Okay. Oh, I'd like to start with the first question. Where does the light in your life live? I said, my light lives in the hope, the love, and hope for a better tomorrow. Times when I feel lost, I listen to the artists that encouraged me to think beyond myself and my environment. These were the artists that I grew up listening to. A few of those artists are Outkast, The Sounds of Blackness, and the Cheetah Girls.
Yes. Love this. Thank you so much for sharing. Did you want to share anything further?
Well, yes, I will go to question number 3. What do I need to let go and to live into my highest potential? And I thought that was such a great question because I was just thinking to myself, I need to heal from my trauma and the experiences that burnt me out so that I can live a new life.
Love that. I love that. I affirm that for you.
Thank you.
Take that one as well. Thank you for that. Thank you for sharing. I appreciate you. Is there anything else further you wanted to share?
That I'm glad I came today. I had a very rough week. We've been like very busy at work, very short staff. And this has been like a healing session. It actually kind of bleeds into my response on the last question on my pathway forward. As I've joined therapy, I look forward to coming to more workshops like this and just rebuilding my support system as I build into my own personal habits, like how I want to create more discipline, consistency, and confidence within myself.
Yes, I
So
affirm.
thank you.
Ashe, thank you. I appreciate you sharing. That was beautiful. Thank you so much for your share, for your courage, for your vulnerability, your clarity, your certainty, and thank you for letting us know how we're impactful and how you are impacted. I appreciate that. Thank you for being present. This would not be the same without you. Thank you for the gift of you and your energy in the space. I appreciate you. Did anybody else care to share any part of what they've written?
Okay, I'll share because I have a meeting. Sorry, you guys, I'm gonna
Okay.
step out. But I think when we were doing this, that I noticed for me, the first 2 questions come naturally. It was easy to just start writing stuff down, and I'm like, I can do that all day and highlight myself. And I know where my voice comes from, and that I'm always trying to be a light. And like Marissa said, things that continue to drive me is that I know that there's still changes to be made and my desire to see change and stuff like that. But then the other two questions that would make me be uncomfortable. And so I feel like I should pay more attention to those. And so some things to let go of, I put like stop being scared, be comfortable being uncomfortable, let go of old ways of thinking, let go of things that feel good but cause harm, and let go of putting limits on achieving certain things because of my age, like thinking it's too late. And then acquiring a highest good, what do you need? And I put I need to put the right language for new goals. And yeah, just a solid plan and stick to the plan. That's good. Yeah, that's it. We all know about where I think my authentic voice comes from several places, just a fire that burns inside to use my voice and to and I put something that really made a difference about that using my authentic self is that it was always instilled in me that it was okay to be myself. So yeah, so I always have the confidence that it's okay to be myself and be authentic at any time. Yeah.
Oh, thank you for
And
that.
thank you so much, Mona. Thank you everyone who joined. I'm sorry I'm like in the hot seat, but then step out. But I always enjoy being in our space with you.
Thank you so much, Shanita. I appreciate that. That was courageous. That was vulnerable. Oh, letting go of the things that are doing us harm to feel good. I'm so with it. I hear that. Is there anybody else who wants to share before we close? I'll share a little bit. Thank you, Judy.
For the first question, I put the light lives in my heart, and I feel guided by my heart, but I'm also I do a little fact checking with all my cells in my body. So I'm guided, but definitely by my heart, but it feels like it resonates. Everything resonates. The light is also in all of the cells in my body, so it's very interesting. My intuition lives in all of my cells. I feel it very, very viscerally in my cells. So I don't know, there's a combination answer for me. And so I love that. I love that question because it felt like heart was like first answer. And then there was a secondary part of it that just kept coming through. It was like, yeah, your cells, things resonate really, really clearly in all of my cells. And so I was like, I had to write that down as well. And then the second question I really resonated with, trusting myself and honoring the medicine that's me. Oh, I think that's it. Okay. The second question that was, what is my medicine really was, which I think is not surprising to a lot of people, is the mothering, caring for others and nurturing for others. But also learning how to mother and care for myself as a part of that. And so I saw that in my mother a lot, and learning how she learned how to care for herself as well. And so learning how to turn that for myself, not just for other people, but also how do I do that for myself? And that's been part of my journey as well, is learning how to not just do it for other people, but then how do I take care of myself in that process? And how do I listen to what I need? And what does that look like? And it doesn't always look the same when I care for other people, when I care for myself. And I've also learned that. And so I think that's a big part. And I think similar to Nita, when she said, what do I need to let go of? I had a long list of things to let go of. And I've also learned that as I get older, that list, even though the list is long, that I'm more clear about how to do that. And so even though the list was long, it's like, oh, okay, I've learned that I see how to let go of things easier the older I have gotten. So letting go of what others think, letting go of other people's rules, letting go of the fear of not knowing, or not knowing enough, or not knowing how to do something. Those things I see, and as the older I've gotten, the further I've gotten in my life, whether it's career or personal things, it's gotten easier to do that. Some of those things still show up, but they don't show up in the same way. letting go of the fear of lack or having a lack mentality. That
Mhm.
easier and better, and then letting go of others' expectations of me.
Sharing.
So, I was just like, oh yeah, these are the things I've been working on for a while, but I was just wanted to like identify them again, as a way. So those are the things that really resonated. I can keep going off, leave room for others.
Oh, that's the amen corner over here. I heard you say it too, Marissa. Yes, to all of it. Let it go of those expectations. Yes, the fear of lack. All right, yes, all of these needs. I love it. I love it. I love it. And I can live into all of that. Thank you for sharing that. Thank you for sharing so vulnerably and powerfully. I appreciate that, Judy. And I know all of us can resonate with this. And is anybody else here to share in space? Okay, well, thank you all so much for joining us. I'm so grateful. Thank you so much for taking a moment into a bit of overtime here. I appreciate and honor your presence and all that you have contributed. This would not be the same without you. I'm grateful for you. Thank you for the energy. Thank you for the love and the healing. Thank you for the compassion, and thank you for the vulnerability. I appreciate you honoring and being willing to honor the sacred space by sharing in this way. And thank you for sitting and writing and breathing. I appreciate it personally. And big shout out to Judy Young, our amazing and fearless director, co-founder of Black Women's Health and Livelihood Initiative. The reason we get to sit here in the UCSF Black Wellness Center, founding pillar, that's right. The National Center of Excellence in Women's Health, and just an incredible human being, a loving and compassionate one, mothering ourselves and mothering all of us in this vision into manifestation. So thank you so much for being present and sharing as well. This has been a good one.
This has been a great one. I just want to thank you, Wanda, for inspiring us and inspiring us, telling us to write and be vulnerable. And to revisit some of these questions and to inspire us to write and to think and to go deep. Because it's so important for us to do that. And as Marissa, as you said, it's so important. It's part of our healing process for all of us. So I encourage us to do that. And I'm glad I get the opportunity to do that. I'm thankful for that. So thank you for inspiring us and bringing this to us.
Oh, thank you so much,
Yes.
Judy.
Thank you.
Yes.
So now as we're in the overtime, you're welcome to unmute, you're welcome to say or share however you'd like. We'll leave the window open for a bit. And now we just be just be us in space. I appreciate your presence. Ashe.
Hey.
It's so good to see you guys, even remotely.
It's so good
I'm
to
at-
see you.
Yes, I'm at a different campus now, but I've missed you guys so much. And I've been traveling like quite a bit. But it's just so happy to be here with you guys. I mean, fortunately, through one of my like pre-med organizations, I was able to go through BetterHelp and they actually give us a discount. So that's been very helpful. And yes. And I actually I want to share this group in the more of the events with some of the young women that I'm meeting because I thought, yes. Like I met this woman, Kyra, through my sister-in-law, and me and her have very similar backgrounds, and she's in education.